Oh, wow, look. Hello. So am I going to see all the faces one by one?
Rosie. No sé.
Or do I have to scroll over? Mira, Emma.
Hola, Emma.
Hola, hola a todos.
José Bolívar.
¿Qué manda por ahí?
Emma.
No sé. Hola, Mónica.
Vamos a empezar a de a poco, ya que tenemos tantas personas en la conversación. A ver.
Sí, se están uniendo poco a poco. Y ahí viene Carla de la voz y creo que viene más gente.
Rosie, si vas a Gallery View, lo vas a poder ver todos a la vez. Arriba a la derecha sale Gallery View.
Oh, yeah, ¿y cuántos somos?
En este momento son 10, 20.
Oh, wow, I see. Daisy, Mónica. Oh, hi, Mónica.
Hola.
Carla de la Hoz. Eva. Malcolm. Mario, wow, los años. Welcome. Ana. Nico, Bella, Sofía, Cindy. Hello, welcome.
Yo no sé cuánto admite esta clase, pero creo que vamos por 22 hasta que cante, que aguante.
Ana Pinedo, dale, vengan todos.
Hola.
Hello, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien, ¿y ustedes?
Bien, aquí estamos.
Qué bueno. Bueno, chicos.
Hello, you made it, good.
A poco vamos a empezar a mutear a los que lleguen, así podemos empezar la clase. Vamos a esperar 2 minutos más, como siempre, empezamos 7:05. Dejamos estos primeros 5 minutos para que la gente entre y ahí le damos la posta a Samuel.
Sí, hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, primero, gracias una vez más por unirse a los HOLA Talks y bueno, por estar aquí presentes, apoyarnos con estas iniciativas y por supuesto tanto a Rosie como a todos los speakers que se unen a este trabajo en pro de nuestra comunidad latina, ¿no? Para seguir creciendo y formándonos en nuestra carrera. Primero que todo, imagino que Rosie va a confirmarnos esto. Todos acá hablamos inglés, tenemos conflictos con el inglés.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Ok, vamos a hacer eso primero. Para comunicarnos, como todos vamos a estar muteados, si todo está bien, vamos a hacer thumbs up. Thumbs up, si todo está correcto. Si quieren que ella vaya slow o algo más lento, vayan simplemente slow, porque ella es muy rápido, no están entendiendo. Y paramos, entonces quizás hacemos una parada y vemos de dónde podemos recapitular. Pero por ahora quizás vamos a tener que, let's everybody switch to English since this is a pronunciation class and accent reduction class, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, thank you. Well, thank you for joining. Yeah. Well, are there any healthcare workers or any related to healthcare workers in the house? Okay, well, but all artists in the house. Yeah, the essential, non-essential, right? According to many. So, yes, so let me see a show of hands. Is everyone here bilingual? Who only speaks one language? ¿Quién solo habla un idioma? Nadie. Excellent. Okay, good. My perfect client, because I have a small video that obviously explains what I do and who I am, but one of the things that I decided to add to the video is who qualifies for my services. And obviously it needs to be someone who has intermediate knowledge of the language and someone who has basic acting training, because I'm not an acting teacher or a language teacher, I'm a coach. So what we'll do is I'll take the next few minutes just to, I see everyone that's here and most are familiar faces, and I see some new faces, some of your names I know from just around, but we'll get to know each other over this hour and a half. Y bueno, les contaré un poquito acerca de mí y acerca de lo que yo hago. Mi nombre es, como todos saben, Rosie Berrido. Soy nacida y criada en la ciudad de Nueva York, de padres hispanos. desde muy pequeña me expusieron a los dos idiomas y a las dos culturas. Siempre viajaba a ver a mis abuelos y siempre hablando en español. A los 5 años ya estaba alfabetizada en español, pese a que nací y me crié aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero ya a los 5 años yo leía en español. Entonces pasé, so I have a question for you, Samuel. Since we're all bilingual, do you want me to mostly speak in English so that eventually everyone will get to hear things, and then we'll do some exercises so people can hear the pronunciation mostly in English?
I guess that would be a very, very smart point. A very
You'd
smart
rather
point.
that? Okay, so good. I see thumbs up. Good. Okay. So yeah. So yes. So so how do I come to coaching? I spent 25 years as an actor, audiobook narrator, voiceover artist. And then I have a huge car accident and I'm home for about 2 years in physical therapy. And in that time, I spent all this time at home and I got off the stage. I couldn't be on the stage because I had a lot of back problems and neck problems. So in that time, I asked myself, okay, what could I do? How could I remain connected to my work without necessarily having to go on stage? And I couldn't sit for several hours to do an audiobook. So I began to reach out to some people and see what they were doing. And I decided to start my own business. Now, the reason why I felt strong enough to start my own business and begin coaching is because for a good 8 or 9 years before that, I had already coached unofficially. While I was at Repertorio Español, which is a company that I've been a member of for the last, 23 years now, people would see my work on stage and they'd say, I love what you're doing. Can you teach me something? Can you help me with this monologue? Help me with pronunciation. You're perfectly bilingual. I've seen you in both languages. And I said, sure. And I started helping. I helped a friend, a young actress who had graduated from Yale, and she needed help with an audition. And she booked the job, and she was so happy she kept coming back. And then she recommended more people, and she started sending friends. And the first 5 or 6 people that came to me, they all booked. So I realized that obviously there was something there and that I had, clearly the knowledge with the experience, bringing in, the 15, 20 years that I had at the time on stage and as an actor and as an audiobook narrator. And also the ability to sort of tap into how can I help Latinos not eliminate the accent per se, because I don't know that it can be eliminated, but it certainly can be tweaked at least in 90%. So I said to myself, okay, this is great. So I can contribute. I can help people with their acting, with their diction, and their accent reduction. And so now jump to about a decade later, which is when I have the accident. And then I decide to put together my website and then start telling people and start charging for this service. Because up until, 6 or 7 years ago, before that, it was like, oh, I'll take you for coffee. I have a few paintings in my kitchen because I coached a painter and he would pay me with his paintings. I have people that did pottery and they would pay me with their pottery. So I wasn't charging any cash. So I wasn't really a small business owner, just an actress who loved to help people. And so then I sat down with a friend to begin my website, which I had started when I was home disabled. And in talking to my friend, he said, well, what are you going to call your business? Is it Berrido coaching? Is it Rosie coaching? Is it the coach, la coach, whatever? And we talked about, the names that the business could have, or we could give the business. And then he said, and I said, I have no idea. I haven't thought about a name. And he said, well, tell me in a sentence what you can do. And the first thing that came out of my mouth without even thinking about it was, I can help them be better. If they follow my rules, they will be better. And he said, Rosie's rules. And then I said, oh shit, now I have to really delineate all these rules. because I had specific sort of parameters and little tips and things that I knew I could offer them immediately, and you would see a quick fix. You would see immediate improvement, but I didn't have all these rules. So I started organizing them. And then I went into all the work of putting together and organizing the rules. So I came up with 100 rules that I haven't invented, I've compiled. So they've been inspired, and in the website I explain it clearly. They've been inspired on, you know, tried and true and tested concepts of acting, of communication, of diction. So I'm not inventing the wheel. I'm just bringing it together, saying it in my own words, and offering it to the public in a way that's accessible, practical, easy, and effective. So the rules are 100 rules. They are divided into 4 categories. The first 25 speak to specifically the craft of acting. The second 25 speak to professional ethics. The next 25 speak to communications and human relations. And the last 25 speak to spirituality. And the reason why I decided to give them those specific 4 divisions is because every time I coached, at least 2 of those came into play. When I was talking to anyone about, you know, how to audition, how to behave, how to communicate, how to dress, you know, the aesthetics of, you know, of things, of being well taken care of being a healthy human being, the importance of meditating, all my life experience that I brought together, and I brought it to the work. And I really believe that the coach needs to be holistic. So in other words, you know, it's really passé, the idea that an artist or any kind of professional, but especially an artist, because we get a bad rap with our sort of, you know, nervousness and existential angst. And it used to be that you had to be eccentric to be a good actor, and you had to have all these problems, and, you know, most were alcoholics, and, you know, all this stuff with depression and anxiety and blah, blah, blah. And that's not necessarily true anymore. Now, many artists have really, you know, woken, and just as a people in general, we've woken up to new age, and we realize the importance of meditation, and how if you are in healthy body, mind, and spirit, then you can really tap into the flow of creativity. And this is where you become a better anything, really. So that's why I have those 4 categories of the rules. I brought a few, because I don't have slides, and in my living room, I guess the next step will be to buy a small projector and sort of project on a wall some of the slides. I will open them up on my phone and then just sort of bring them to the camera. So we will look at some of the rules. Let's see, what else might I add? So when I coach, I make sure that a person speaks both languages or has at least intermediate knowledge of the language that they want to work in. So in other words, knowing 100 words of English is not speaking a language. So clearly you need to speak, you know, more than 100 words of a language to come to me. And I offer 3 things. I offer acting, diction, and accent reduction. So I get actors that want to work on a monologue. I get actors that are preparing for their admissions exam to a college or even high school. I just got 2 acceptance to LaGuardia High School last year, and they were wonderful. I mean, they were teenagers, but one is like, you know, a crazy, like angsty 50-year-old, and he was 13 when I met him, and very, very smart, a comedian. So I have actors for their monologues, their acting technique, camera technique, because I studied camera technique also in 2 different schools, and diction in both languages. In other words, to standardize. So if you're from Brooklyn and you sound like you're from Brooklyn or the Bronx or a native New Yorker, I help you standardize that some. And the Hispanics that want to reduce their accent. There have been some conversations about calling it accent reduction because some people feel like they're being reduced or sort of, you know, encapsulated. But I think that speaks clearer to the point rather than saying accent work. I can work with some people that want to acquire some regionalisms maybe when I coach on the set of TVs. I recently coached on a pilot where everyone needed to sound Dominican because the heart of the show was Dominican gangsters. And it's the revival of New York Undercover. And there predominantly, they were bringing back these gangsters, and so they all needed to be Dominican. I also lean sometimes towards the Puerto Rican or Mexican. So most of the production houses know me as the coach who standardizes English and Spanish. And when in Spanish, we will add dialects, mostly Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, or Cuban. Those are the 4 things for which they call me. I sometimes get called for Colombian or just sort of that vague Latin America. But mostly it's those 4, which are the most popular here in New York. So that's what I do. So in terms of the diction and the accent reduction, I can coach anyone from an actor to a nurse. I also work with the young doctors in Brooklyn, in Maimonides, teaching them bedside manner and how to communicate. And so that sometimes spills over into sort of improv technique and how to deal with emergencies and how to listen, you know, basic improv stuff that helps us in our day-to-day. And yeah, so that's what I do. I coach from my house. You see part of it. Well, now not in the COVID. I also share a space in Midtown on 38th Street, and I coach via Skype or Zoom or, you know, over the phone or FaceTime. So today, I think that the best thing for us to do, Samuel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share one rule from every category, and then we can talk about it a little bit, and we can open up to questions. But before that, I want to know where we are in the room. So maybe we can unmute, and I can hear some of the professions to hear who's in the room of the people that I don't know.
You want to, okay. So I'm going to call it out one by one. And Rosie, I guess it's going to be helpful. Do you have those presentation in digital in your computer? Because if you do, you can share the screen and if you share the screen, everybody's able to see wherever you are sharing your screen.
Okay, the problem is that I'm new to Zoom and I don't want to cut myself off by doing something wrong.
Okay.
So you'd have to take a minute and walk me through it, but I don't know if you can see this.
Let's give it a try. Show it in the way you said.
Like here's one, right? Let's say, here it is. So if I put that there, can everyone see that?
Just the title.
I can read you the rule, or I can move it right into Instagram and people could look in Instagram. I don't know. Let me see if I can open the folder. So do you want to try walking me through sharing the screen?
Yeah, just
we'll
firstly,
take 3 seconds. If it takes longer than that, then we'll call it a day.
Firstly, open the file on your computer.
Okay.
And then I guide you through the next step.
Okie doke. So I'll put you right here. So I'll put you in here. So let me find here.
And then after that, guys, I'm just gonna start calling you guys out one by one. We are 26 in the room right now. So, and then we can start doing a very quick presentation. Then Rosie can measure or see what is the level of each one. Maybe is that up to there?
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put them in a row. Just put them right here.
This class is basically created for 1 hour. However, in our meeting that we had, in our pre-production meeting with Rosie, she said that obviously she is not that, she's not that tight with the time. she can get a little bit more of extra. But of course, if you guys need to just to leave the room, just of course you're totally free to do it at 8.
Okay. Yeah, usually what I do is I coach for, my sessions are tailored to be 55 minutes, but because I don't watch the clock, I often go longer than an hour. So, okay, so here's 1, and then 2. Okay, good. So there's 1 there. And then we'll do here next. Okay, good. Okay, just 1 more minute. So maybe people can start, maybe you can just tell me some of the professions that are in the room while I do this so I can hear.
Also,
I can hear who's, I mean, I imagine that most are actors, but I know that some are not.
I'm going to start in order, the order that I have here in my chat. So I'm going to unmute Anna Rosie's. Anna, I'm going to unmute you. You can talk. Hold on. Are you Anna?
Does she know, maybe she has herself muted? Or
Hello?
Anna? We're
Yeah.
talking about Anna.
Yeah.
Oh, Anna.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Rosie.
Okay, hey, okay, good. Oh, I know Anna. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, Anna's actress, producer, director. So, okay. Hey, Anna. Okay, wonderful. Next.
Great. I'm going to call next to, I have phone 3. I don't know who's phone 3, but I'm going to call next one. Bolívar Ángeles.
Mm.
Bolívar Ángeles.
El Boli.
Hi, how you doing, guys? First of all, I'm the support guy, and also I'm not an actor. That's the first point that I had to say. And I used to work like IT support, and back in my country, I used to be electronic engineer. So eventually, I met technology, the related guy.
Awesome. Thank you, Bolívar.
Wonderful.
We have
gonna-
we have phone 3. He's unmuted. If you want to participate.
Bienvenido. Good.
Who's in the iPhone 3?
To find out.
Yeah, I guess is I'm seeing here on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna call Carla de la Hoz.
Carla. Hey, hey. I know Carla. Actress.
Carla, you have to. Hi, Carla. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh,
There you are.
okay.
There you are. We can hear
Good?
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you
Hi.
for doing this. It's just a great idea. We should meet more often. I'm loving it. Rosie!
Hello, dear.
Hi. I don't know if we have to still say what we do. Actually,
You can just say your profession so that we keep it under 30 seconds.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rosie and I met while I was standing in, so I guess that was the profession we met as. But yes, I'm an actor, and starting to write.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna go with Casita de Arte. Who's Casita de Arte? Or
Yeah.
Hola, Casita.
I'm an actor and a teaching artist, and I was teaching just right before, and I forgot to log that of my school. So that's the school. But my name is Maricel. I've been with Rosie for a while. I lost her. Oh, there you are. Hey, Rosie. And yeah, I'm an actor, voiceover performer, and I teach kids. And that's Casita de Arte. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful name.
I know.
It is. Okay, I'm gonna call out Cindy Teniente. No, Teniente, sí.
Sí.
Okay, do it by yourself, Cindy. No, you got it. Okay.
Hi, I'm an actor and just recently started doing acting, and I'm looking into also directing, but I mainly have a military background, so that's where I come from.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, I want to call out Diana Saldana. Could you unmute yourself, Diana, please?
Okay.
Here it is.
Thank you.
Hi, Rosie. How are you?
Oh, how are you?
Good, good. So I'm an actor, and I have basically, Rosie and I, we met before, and we briefly have worked together.
Awesome. Thank you, Diana. I'm gonna call out now to Daisy Patino.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Daisy.
Daisy. I'm an actress and I do social media for a brand.
Awesome.
And Daisy, and I just want to say, when sometimes when people in their group don't out themselves, I out them. Daisy came to me and had a very heavy accent. So later on, we're going to listen to Daisy a little bit because Daisy has reduced her accent by 90%.
Great job.
Es colombiana. Es colombiana. Ya, le quité el acento.
Muy
So
bien.
she'll be my poster child one day.
Thank you, Daisy. I'm going to call out Fernando. Could you unmute yourself, Fernando?
Wait.
Ahí estás.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, Rosie. Nice to meet you virtually. And I'm Fernando, and I'm an actor.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Gracias, Fernando. I'm going to call now Gema.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I am Gema Ibarra. I am an actress and director, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Welcome.
Nice. I'm going to call out now Ima Heredia.
You.
Hey. Could you,
Here with all
Ima,
of you.
ahí está.
Now?
Sí, ahora
Okay.
sí.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here with all of you. I'm a performer, entertainer, actor. I love everything about show business, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you. So, much love to all. And thank you. And I know Rosie a long time.
We love you.
A role model to all of us, a wonderful artist and a great person. So we are very fortunate to be spending this beautiful time with her and with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ima.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Gracias.
Next is Johari Ramos.
Hola, Rosie, ¿cómo estás? Hola a todos.
Hello, darling.
I see a lot of familiar faces, so I'm very glad to be here with you. And you know that some of my issues, it's not only that I love the language, but that I'm exposed to Spanish all the time. So even if I want to reduce my accent, we have talked about this before. My issue is that I'm always exposed to Spanish because it's my way of living.
Thank you, Johari, because that's very important. It's a very, very important point that you're pointing out. Very important. Mario Golden, or Golden. Let's say Golden.
Mario, wow.
Hola. Hola, Mario.
You hear me, right?
Yes.
Maestro, right?
Okay, so hi, I'm Mario Golden. I've known Rosie and Inma. Actually, we met in the first play like 2002, I believe we were in this reading. Wow, that's beautiful. But anyway, I'm an actor, director, playwright, novelist, producer, teacher, and yeah. Nice to meet everybody.
Thank you, Mario. Nice to meet you too. Maritza.
Hola.
Hola.
Hi, Rosie. Hi, everyone.
Hola.
I'm an actress. I'm a mom. I have my first language is Argentinian Spanish. I took some accent reduction classes. I've been living here for almost 16 years or more. I have 3 daughters, 2 were born here, and I still have a heavy accent.
Okay.
And I want to find a way to a natural way to speak English without a heavy accent. Because if I say, okay, I want to speak like more naturally, I need to think about it. I need to put myself in this mood, like, oh, I feel stiff. I don't feel like I am not myself. So I want to try to do it naturally, and I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
today I promise that today I'll teach you at least 2 or 3 tips that you will see immediately. I'll give you quick fixes that you will, because I already heard you, and you're obviously you're not alone, but there are these challenges in common, that the common problems, challenges that Latinos have. And those are easy to identify. So today you're going to walk away, I can promise you, with 2 or 3 tips that will fix it for you. And my mother's name is Maritza.
Ah, and Rosie.
So yeah.
she's the best mom.
Of course she is.
Where can you find your information about having classes with you on your website?
Yeah, on my website, Rosie's Rules, or through HOLA. Today through HOLA.
Yeah. By the end of our session, we're gonna send all the information that you can reach her.
But if you Google my name or Google Rosie's Rules, you'll find me right away.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And my website, I just want to say also, sometimes people are afraid, or I'm sometimes cautious or apprehensive to click on people's websites, because I feel like it's going to be, my email is going to get trapped and I'll get a whole bunch of stuff. But if you visit my website, nobody's going to send you anything.
Okay.
I want to know that Google may, Google Analytics may tell me a certain %, but I'm not going to capture it and send you a whole bunch of crap that you don't need. So, you could visit it and study it and meditate on it, and I won't.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Maritza. Marlon.
Good. Hello, Marlon.
Hi, Rosie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I was feeling afraid. I said to myself, maybe Rosie remember me or not. I'm not sure.
Of course I remember you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I met you like 3 years ago, and I wasn't able to speak properly English. So that's why I couldn't go further with you.
Okay.
So when I saw the mail from HOLA, I was like, oh my God, this is my moment to get back to Rosie. So via a couple of people that I know, as Samuel, and Monica. So no, so grateful to be part of this time with you. And
good, wonderful. Good.
Thank you, Marlon. Melissa.
¿Qué nos falta?
Melissa.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, nice to finally meet you, Rosie.
Nice to meet you. How you feeling? Good?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Good. Melissa, teacher, writer.
Yeah.
Melissa, writer.
Yes, I'm a middle school teacher and a writer. Yep.
Good. Okay. Great. Good.
Nicole Betancourt.
La bella Nico.
Hi guys, I'm sorry you can't see me. I'm going through something huge right now, but I wanted to join Rosie because Rosie has been influential in my life. I actually say that she's the cause that I got signed with an agency for voiceover because I have we have known each other, and every single consejo that Rosie has given me I have used, and it has actually given fruit and good things, like like a good agency. And I know a couple of you. I'm going to be working with Marlon. I'm going to be directing him, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's good to see Johari, Fernando, Pablo, everybody. But yeah, one of the things that Rosie told me years ago was actually also how to embrace the accent that I already have. So sometimes I think that Rosie knows exactly what to do with you in terms of how to utilize what you have, because there are assets on that aspect as well. You can work on your accent, but also embrace that you do have something that is valuable. So Rosie, as always, I'm glad to see you.
Glad to hear you. Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous actor. And I always say that whenever I introduce her to someone, I tell people immediately, the microphone loves her. Que tiene una voz preciosa. Gracias, bella. Y bueno,
gracias a ti.
Sí, hace poco me enteré de algo, así que hablemos pronto.
Sí.
Pronto. Ok, querida, aquí estamos. ¿Quién nos falta? A ver.
Sharina Adán.
Yay! Hello, darling.
Hi, Rosie. Hi, everybody. I'm an actress, and actually, a week ago, Rosie coached me on a voiceover that I booked, and she's insane. She just made it an incredible experience. She makes it go really fast, and I trust every single word that comes out of her mouth. So I'm really excited about this. But yeah, thank you.
Wow. Is it all right for me to say the voice of what product you are?
Yeah, of course.
Sharina is the voice of the new Con Edison, Clean New York and Con Ed, donde hay energía está Con Edison. It's a
Tell you,
campaña
Rosie.
bellísima
Thank
that I coach/directed /consultant.
Yeah,
and
you did
Sharina's
everything.
voice. Yeah, gorgeous campaign. Yeah. So
Awesome.
thank you. My pleasure.
Sofía Rodríguez.
Hello,
Hello.
Sophie.
Hi, Rosie. Hi, everybody. So nice to see everyone here. Am I still here? Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Sophia. I am zooming from my cell phone for the first time ever, so I'm sorry if I get lost. I am a actress. I am specializing right now in voiceover work, and I am also pursuing a career in speech pathology. So I'm into speech all the way, and this seminar is something I'm really interested in, just in general. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Susan Pinedo. Susan Pinedo.
Susan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Suzanne. Nice to meet all of you.
Hello.
Hi, Susan.
I'm an actor and I'm a writer, and one of my biggest challenges is I'm booking a lot of voice work in Spanish, but when I speak Spanish, everyone tells me they can hear the American.
Okay.
So that's one of my biggest challenges.
Okay. All right. Good.
Thank you. We have two more. We have Telva Cabero, Elvita.
Hola, everyone. Rosie.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Glad to finally meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
I'm an actress. I'm also a mom. I also director. I haven't done that here yet in New York. And I also do training for a health insurance company.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you, Telva. And last but not least, Valeria Llanesa.
Valeria.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Valeria Llanesa, and I'm from Argentina. I am a singer and an actress.
Good. Okay. Welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. So I'm gonna go. So obviously all Latinos, and we'll just do some of the back and forth. So let's start with a lesson, and I'll share the rules as we go. But I really want this group today to walk away with at least 3 tips, and we're gonna change them right here. We're gonna do examples right here, so they can hear, they can apply right away the tip and the trick, and hear themselves. So the first thing that I want to share. Well, thank you and welcome. So the most important, the biggest difference and the most important difference between English and Spanish is that English is supported by the consonants and Spanish is supported by the vowels. So the moment we neglect a consonant in speaking English, immediately we hear the accent. And I'll give you a quick example. There are words, we say words in English, we can say anything. Let's say here, woman, hand, glasses, pen, right? The screen, the laptop, wall, painting, bracelet, and all the consonants predominan todas las consonantes. But if I say those words in Spanish, then we hear mujer, pared, pintura, mano, bolígrafo, lapicero, predominan las vocales, están muy claras. And it's always very easy because immediately we hear the vowels, and then in English we hear all the consonants. So when a Latino comes to their work, to their diction work and the accent reduction work, the first thing that we have to do is learn to identify those specific sounds of the consonants and never neglect the consonants. The first thing we want to do is take care of all the consonants. And I'll give you an example. The danger that we run when we don't pronounce, when we drop a consonant, is that the word is not only mispronounced, but it becomes another word. In other words, if our word is picture, if the word is picture, can everyone see this? Picture, right? If we drop the C in picture, immediately it becomes pitcher, another word. So, ¿qué significa el pitcher en el béisbol o el pitcher de jarrón de agua? So, which is something that we hear in the ghetto. My friends may be from Georgia. Sometimes in the South, people talk like that. And when we want to add an accent, if we want to sound a little Southern, we the pitcher, you know, or little Afro-American sort of, you know, ghetto talk, or someone that's from the South. So the first thing that we need to take care of is immediately be aware of all the consonants. So right away, if I had each and every one of you say one sentence out of a book, I can immediately identify, I can mostly identify what region you are from, but usually immediately I know that a person is Latina because they've been dropping all the consonants. So there's that. And then the second thing that's important to identify is that in English, in diction and speech, proper diction and speech, we have something called the toned endings. So when, let's say, for example, all the verbs that are conjugated in the past tense, we add an ed, polished. If the verb is polish and we've conjugated it in the past tense, it becomes polished. So the ed can't be neglected. The moment we neglect a consonant and a toned ending, we've added an accent. So if I'm saying, for example, oh, hi, Monica. Monica, we didn't say hello, it's Monica. So if I'm saying, for example, apartment building, apartment, if I drop both of the T's in the word apartment, I'm saying apartment. Ya hay un acento. All I did was drop the T's. Apartment. And right there, we hear the accent. So if over the span of your lifetime, let's say for an actor who's auditioning, if over the span of your career, you're going to say maybe 1 million words, and we want to tweak, we want to fix a third of those words, there are some words that are non-negotiables that give us away, you know, immediately. So in English, most of the nouns that are pluralized end in the Z sound. So that's also that Latinos have in common. So anyone here in the group, let's see who, maybe let's try Maritza. A ver, pronuncia Maritza, libros y digamos no, niñas y sillas en inglés.
Okay. Girls. Chairs.
Chairs. Did everyone hear the ending? Listen to Maritza. Maritza's going to say it once and then I'm going to say it. Say the first one, Maritza.
Girls. But now I'm trying to say the S because you told me. Okay.
But that's okay. So I say girls.
Girls.
Do you guys hear the difference? Girls and girls.
Girls.
See, the first one you did the Z and then the second one was an S, if I hear correct, right?
Yes.
It's a little hard via the Zoom, but if from now on, Maritza, and take note of this because the repetition is mastery and it will become easier. It will become easier. I think one of the reasons why for you it doesn't sound natural is because perhaps you haven't encountered the method that makes you feel comfortable. One of the things that I'm most proud of and that I bring to the table is that I not only speak both languages completely fluently, but I'm also bicultural.
Right.
There are many things that, you know, that are culturally acceptable and that become difficult when we don't understand their origin and why people talk this way.
Yeah.
Right. And English is not like Spanish where we come from the Romance languages, and so there's a specific cadence. El inglés es mucho más marcado y es mucho más plano, es mucho más llano y básicamente es más aburrido. So when we have, cuando traemos todo este floreo y toda esta pasión y todo este movimiento que hay en la boca y en la lengua, y el coach que es monolingüe, le cuesta mucho ajustarnos la posición de la lengua y la pronunciación, porque el coach monolingüe no entiende exactamente qué es lo que estás haciendo dentro de tu boca. So because I speak your language of origin, I know where the tongue is and I know where it needs to be moved. Ese es el problema, which is something I don't say out loud because it sounds like then I'm doing this to the American coaches. See? So it's imperative. So it's imperative that when you go to someone to help you speak a language, that person should have intermediate or advanced knowledge of where you're coming from. It's the same in business. It's the same, in anything. Right. And all these things apply to, it applies to people from most languages, but with Latinos, because our language is so rich, for every word in English, there are a minimum of 19 in Spanish. That's how rich our language is. Hablamos que América, no, screw América, Latinoamérica. Las Américas es mucho más amplia que un paisito que tiene 500 años, so las Américas, right? So a minimum of 19 that are acceptable. So these are all if the coach doesn't know, all these 19 places where your tongue is coming from, it's difficult to help you. But there are all these things that are common. So we have the sound, not neglecting the consonants, and we have guarding the toned endings. And then we have major challenges. For example, the I sound in it, shit, sit. I like to curse. I hope nobody is uncomfortable. I love language and I enjoy it. So sometimes I've explained a concept. Some of my clients laugh. I sometimes explain a concept to someone, and explaining the concept of up, cup. If I say up, cup, the Latino may not hear it. But if I say fuck, they say, oh, I just heard it. You see, so sometimes I use curse words to give examples. So that sound in Spanish does not exist. And that's a challenge para el Latino. Porque no es ni O, ni A, ni E, ni O, ni nada. Es un sonido gutural que tienes que aprender de dónde viene. It's not enough to just show you a little symbol, right? And then the Latino also, most Latinos have a problem with the TH. They don't understand that there's the vocalized TH and there's the non-vocalized TH, which is the breathy one. So there's a difference between the TH in a word like these versus TH in 30. In ESL, they don't teach you that. Okay? So I'm sure everyone here, let me see hands. Who feels that just spoke to them, the TH? Did everyone here know the difference between both those THs? Not being, so yeah, see? TH, so there's such a, so the V's, is the vocalized, is the holding the tongue, the tip of the tongue is on the top teeth, and you blow out the air sin despegar la lengua. Entonces te hace una cosquillita, vibra. Like almost a buzzing sound. That's the V's. That's the vocalized TH. And then there's a non-vocalized TH, which is just sort of a breath, which is the TH in 30. It's 30. And you know if you're saying it right, because you can actually put a match. And sometimes I do this with my clients. Prendo un fósforo y si se apaga el fósforo, lo está diciendo bien. So, and the way you know, you can test it at home if you're doing it right, is you put your hand right here, and if you feel air, you're saying it right. So you go 30, 30. When you say 30, sale aire, sí o no? ¿A quién no le sale aire? Thumbs up, you feel air? 30, right? Let me get a match, hold on.
Guys, if you want, guys, you can start, I mean, minutes away from our goal, but if you can, guys, you're gonna start, if you have any question, you can start writing in the chat. And if we have sometimes by the end of our class, we can start asking some of the questions to Rosie. You're on mute. Hold on.
Mute myself, sorry. Yeah. So here we go. So can everyone see this? Right? Okay, so I'm here. So if I go these, or those, those, no se apaga. But if I say 30, well, I needed to just say it a little stronger, but that's how you can test it. I mean, kids, don't try this at home, right? You don't want to burn down the place, but that's the a common denominator that everyone has, because they don't teach you that in ESL, right? Does anyone have a question or testimony or anything? We can go right into it, because I think this is more important than me sharing the slides and sharing the rules.
Okay.
Because in this group, everyone has an accent.
We have a comment from Inma. She put in the chat just saying that I studied the sounds, but I forgot to put them in practice when I am in conversation. So is that one of the most common mistakes that we as a Spanish speaker do when we speak in Spanish, in English?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because they don't teach that in ESL. When you're learning English as a second language, they're not teaching you that. You see, also, one of the things that they also don't teach people in ESL is that it's something that they teach us when we're young. And when I was learning how to read in first grade, second grade, I'm not sure which grade I was learning how to read, but oftentimes Latinos, we transpose the E for the I. So if it's, for example, if we're trying to say meat, we might say mit, right? And if we want to say sit, then we say sit. ¿Viste? Lo volteamos. So one of the first things I do is I explain to people that whenever something that they taught me in first grade when I was learning how to read, and it's this. E is E, E-A is E, E-I is E, I-E is E. It's really the E in English, pero es el fonético. O sea, miren esto. Estas combinaciones, todas estas combinaciones equivalen a E en inglés, cuyo sonido fonético es I en español. Right? And everyone here, I know most people here, and everyone here makes this mistake on a regular basis. Escucha esto. Mario, Inma, Pablo, todos, mi abuela, mis tías, todo el mundo. Alcalde Di Blasio, Cuomo, everyone. People don't know this. They just don't know. And they teach it to us like a song. E says E, E-A says E, E-I says E, I-E says E. Wherever you see that, ahora, obviamente, toda regla tiene su excepción. We have words like great, right? G-R-E-A-T. So there are some exceptions, right? Great, porque ahí podría decir greet, pero realmente no. Tiene sus excepciones, pero el 95% de las veces donde vemos estas combinaciones es meet. no mit, no greet, no spick, no spick. The reason why we have spick, it's derogatory term. Spanish person in custody, it was called in the 50s. That's why they call the spick, mostly Puerto Ricans, derogatory term. But some people believe that that word spick also came from the fact that when they would apprehend someone, an immigrant, the immigrant would say, no speak the English, no speak, whether it was Polish or Italian or Hispanic or whatever, right? That the immigrant couldn't say speak. They would say no speak. So the spick meant que era un extranjero, un emigrante, o un ilegal, right? And so when we start to understand sort of the cultural references and the connotations, we know right away we can make the connection. So I'm pretty certain that for everyone in this room, Johari, Mario, Marlon, Bolívar, Pablo, muchas que conozco, Carla, personas, entiendes, que se nos olvida, porque es una tendencia del latino cuando predomina el español. I see low battery, so I'm going to plug myself in. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna say another of the question that I have here in the chat. Okay?
Yeah. If it's related or if it's not related, we can move on to something else. But I just want to ask before you pose that question.
Yeah.
That who finally got this? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The question is from Telva, and I guess honoring the fact that by repetition is I don't know, la mejor manera de poder pues tomar el conocimiento.
Repetition is mastery.
Is mastery. What kind of is the question that Telva has? What exercises can we do daily as a routine in order to start working the accent reduction?
So it depends on what you're working on. So if we're working on, let's say that Telva's working on this. Let's say that she has a tendency to say, when I speak or when I greet, or sometimes I eat the meat, that it's not quite E. Es ver exactamente cómo tienes la boca o dónde está colocada la lengua cuando lo dices correctamente. Entonces, si te enseño sobre la marcha, vas obviamente robusteciendo tu vocabulario, pero una vez que la coach te dice meat, mira lo que ocurre, meat. Una es decir sit or spit, and then there's meat. Ahí yo te doy tailor-made, either trabalenguas o cosas, o sea, my method is non-method. I mean, I studied acting in several schools of acting, but what I do is I tailor the lesson to the needs of the client. So the repetition is, but once you identify where it's correct, this is assuming that you don't have a speech, a physical impediment. I mean, Sofia Rodriguez, who's studying, a speech pathology, we go into great conversations, very interesting conversations, because there's specific exercises. But once you have identified that you don't have a physical impediment, que no tienes una media lengua, que no tienes 4 andanas, que no tienes un problema en la boca, 3 muelas de más, no 3 muelas de menos, etc. Si ya lo puedes decir, then you know that it's E. In this case, this would be easy for a Latino porque es una I pronunciada. O sea, no es diptongo, no es triptongo, no son 4 vocales juntas, un lío allí de arroz con mango, ¿no? Es una I específicamente. And so my answer to that, in short, is that once you identify what's going on, and perhaps even what you look like saying it correctly, then that's where you stay. Versus looking at some sort of little graphic or some sort of little schwa and learning this, how the phonetic alphabet represents it. That's just, no, that doesn't work. I mean, I think Edith Skinner is brilliant because her book is brilliant, but the book is tailored to Americans. The book doesn't show you as a Latina. There are many things that a Latino doesn't understand. in the book just by looking at these symbols. If a Spanish-speaking person doesn't walk you through Edith Skinner's book, you won't understand it. A lot of it. I mean, it's a great book, but yeah, es para americanos, no es para latinos. I don't know. Does that answer your question, Telva?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Guys, we're now at 8:01. We have still some questions here. So, I mean, our goal is done, but we are here until Rosie stays.
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Carla, I'm going to open the mic to Carla de la Hoz. She has a question. I guess it's very specific. I want her to do by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Carla?
Yeah, so I was told before that apparently in Spanish, we emphasize different words than in English. Let's say when we, in whatever sentence that I've heard before someone telling me, oh, it's because you guys in Spanish emphasize the noun, meaning in a sentence, I will emphasize the fact that yo corro en las mañanas. And so in English, apparently you wouldn't emphasize necessarily I run in the mornings, unless you're saying something in particular. So my question was, in normal English speaking language, what words would you emphasize the most? Meaning usually the verbs or the articles, in terms of reading in English and having a constant rhythm, understandable rhythm, because that's what can make us not being understood if our rhythm, our musicality is sort of not the same. I hope that makes sense. Making a long story short, what words would you emphasize in regular reading and speaking English, proper English?
I think that it's a great question. I think that that's dangerous because the answer to that is the one that's necessary to emphasize. You see, I don't think the cadence of a language, I mean, for example, they teach us, I took a workshop long time ago in neurolinguistics. And the first thing, the biggest takeaway from that workshop in neurolinguistics for me was that it's easy for us to learn something that we enjoy, right? So one of the reasons why I put the rules next to an image is because in neurolinguistics, I learned that if you connected a concept to an image that was pleasant to you, it would be easier for you to learn. So I think that saying to someone that you have an accent because you are punching the wrong words for the rest of your life is a craziness, because how would you ever know over the span of your lifetime of all the sentences that you're going to say? If I say to you, punch all the nouns or punch all the adjectives or punch all the whatever, so piénsalo. La respuesta es esa pregunta, es una pregunta peligrosa para mí. No, vamos a hablar claro, vamos a llamar las cosas por su nombre. Me parece a mí no. Está claro que esa persona no conoce, número uno, el floreo del castellano, está ignorando sinalefas, está ignorando conceptos como cesura. O sea, tenemos en castellano, y hablamos de esto, porque usualmente yo entiendo que el latinoamericano se engolosina más en el idioma. Nuestro idioma es más rico, tiene más floreo. English doesn't have as many curlicues. It's not as colorful. That's why Europeans, feel exotic to us, even when people speak in English. I mean, we have here, who do we have here that's, Anna. Anna has Australian And oftentimes when she speaks in English, you can hear the Aussie back there, and you can hear the British. O sea, y tiene una dicción perfecta, y aparte es, o sea, argentina. Y es un idioma, está bien cuidadito, y el floreo, y lo sientes, y aquí. Entonces, en castellano, estamos acostumbrados, es más común que alguien esté consciente de conceptos como la sinalefa, lo que une una vocal, una palabra que termina en una consonante y la siguiente empieza en una vocal. Entonces unimos. ¿A dónde vas? ¿Vas a la escuela? ¿Vas a la escuela o dos vocales como lo unimos? Eso nos da cadencia, eso nos da ritmo, nos da intención, es parte del floreo de nuestro idioma. Entonces decirle a alguien, a un extranjero, o sea, someone whose English is not their first language, to tell them to punch these words, that sounds to me like someone who's playing tricky dicky. This is like many years ago, I did Shakespeare with a cuckoo director. And he was dealing with a few actors that weren't very well versed in Shakespeare because he did crappy casting. So, and the way that he tried to fix it was with a joke saying, say two words or say one line and then shift your body, and say another line and then shift your body, and then and then say another line and say another piece of the phrase and then raise your arm and then y yo dije, pero a este tipo ¿qué le pasa? Esto es como una técnica que yo nunca en mi vida he escuchado, but it played into the sort of psychology and the rhythm of how the actor suddenly navigated the text because he was given something to do. Almost. It was very strange. And it kind of worked in a way, but I knew the director was just playing tricky dicky. So that's impossible. You can do it on occasion, but through the span of your life, that's not always going to work. If I say to you, punch all the nouns, besides, who says you can't say, I go running every morning? Yo corro por las mañanas. Yo corro por las mañanas. Yo corro por las mañanas. I run every morning. I run every morning. I run every morning. Who says that's wrong? You see? So to me, it sounds like a tricky dicky fix. And unfortunate that the coach would then make the client feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Because who the hell could do that? You can't. Esa es mi opinión.
Rosie, una pregunta. In order to what is the position, or how important is for us to learn the IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet?
I think it's important. I mean, it's certainly important in the measure that you can utilize it effectively or take it in, because some people learn. I mean, obviously I don't, maybe someone like Sophia could, might have an opinion about it, but I think that it all depends on how you learn. For example, I learn a lot by watching. It's hard for me to read stuff and study, and it's harder, or I'm going to say less easy, for me to read a paragraph and assimilate that information versus if I see someone doing something. Because I learn by watching. So it all depends on how you learn. You see, in the 60s or the 70s, there was and maybe some here are too young to remember this, but because I don't even know if it exists or is that popular anymore. But Berlitz, I don't know who here remembers the Berlitz dictionaries, the Berlitz Method, right? So Berlitz was the first company to, obviously German, well, not obviously, but bueno, and they had the little traveling dictionaries, and Berlitz was the first, or one of the firsts to use sort of revamp, revolutionize the teaching method, because it wasn't in a classroom. So when you went to learn a language, in the Berlitz Method, you wouldn't sit in a classroom with 20 people and just conjugate verbs.
Bolívar lo está mostrando ahí, Bolívar lo está mostrando.
Ah, okay. Oh, wow. There you go. Berlitz. Okay. Porque padrino Papa Berlitz, el abuelo de Berlitz, dijo, no. Esto tiene que ser one-on-one. And what was brilliant about the method, and I know because I teached in the Berlitz, before I became a professional actor, I had 2 jobs. One was on Wall Street, and one was teaching the Berlitz Method. And in the Berlitz Method, what they do is the teacher takes the student, part of their learning program and method is taking you to the opera. And the lesson revolves around what's happening at the opera. Or we go to dinner, and the lesson revolved around eating dinner, los utensilios, the silverware, cómo pedir esto, dónde está el baño, tráigame la cuenta, necesito la sal, burger well done, etc. Foie gras, this, that, the other, pidiendo cosas de comida, ¿no? O ir a sentarse al parque, una caminata en el parque y hablar de qué está pasando en el parque. Porque normalmente en una aula aprendes a conjugar verbos y tal, pero luego te vas de compras y no sabes pedir nada. O sea, yo me fui a Egipto, a Medio Oriente, y yo no miré nunca el diccionario. Yo llamé a mi amigo Remo y a mi amiga Elena y a mis 5 amigos que hablaban egipto y libanés y esto y lo otro, y me aprendí 14 frases y yo iba bien. ¿Dónde está el baño? ¿Cuánto cuesta esto? Esto está muy caro, no me toque. ¿Quién es usted? Aquí está mi hotel. Frases claves, y yo nunca aprendí a conjugar un verbo. No, a mí no me preguntes cómo se conjuga un verbo en egipcio. Yo no tengo idea. ¿Sabes? Entonces, so in relation to the IPA, yes, it's helpful. It's great to learn it and to know it. But again, it's like the Edith Skinner book. Really, most of my clients don't want me to give them a little symbol or a little schwa or a little fetus vowel or a little rollito or, crucecita o palito o qué sé yo. Mi gente no quiere aprender eso. Ellos quieren saber cómo se dice y que yo le ayude a memorizarlo. You see?
Mm.
So, yeah. So that's how I feel about the IPA. So I'm not knocking it, but it's something that I refer to very seldomly.
Good. Well, I see in the chat that Monica has a comment about the difference between receive, tilt, and yelled. Is that Monica?
Huh?
Si quieres, Monica, unmute yourself and then you can...
Mira tú!
Unmuteate.
Oh my God! People, please pretend you did not hear that.
Unmuteate.
Qué bello.
A Pablo que estaba preguntando sobre ejemplos.
Perdón, querida.
Le estaba respondiendo a Pablo que estaba preguntando sobre ejemplos de IE, entonces puse 4 ejemplos. Yo no estaba haciendo la pregunta.
Ah, ok.
Mi pregunta era, Rosie, para entonces rápidamente, que estabas hablando de I. A veces está y eso es una confusión que no solamente tengo yo seguramente, sino está el vowel en kit y en fleece, que son distintas, y nosotros no las tenemos distintas, y eso pero también la I y latina, no sé si es cerca a la fleece o es completamente distinta.
Creo que she got frozen.
Ahorita no voy a responder, pero muy rápido.
Sí, ya. Se congeló su imagen. Pero si nos escuchas, creo que ni ella ni nosotros a ella. No ha tenido un problema con su conexión. Voy a mandarle un texto.
Tratemos de hacer otro encuentro con Rosie, porque ella es una maravilla.
Sí, yo creo que... Bueno, si todos están de acuerdo, vamos a hacer la solicitud una vez más y que se desconectó. Déjame decirle que...
Bueno, aprovecho para decirles a todos que muchísimas gracias por estar aquí, rueden la voz. Estos talks son gratuitos para toda nuestra comunidad hispana, para todos los artistas. Por supuesto, siempre pueden colaborar con HOLA, cómo pueden colaborar con HOLA, si no son miembros, consideren hacerse miembros, si es la posibilidad, y si no, hay mucho trabajo aquí, así que pueden ser voluntarios cuando quieran.
Sí, nosotros estamos a punto de hacer una convocatoria para las personas que en el cuestionario hemos abierto la posibilidad de que si ustedes quieren unirse al equipo de voluntarios, que como nosotros estamos acá, Rosie otra vez, pues pueden hacerlo y nosotros vamos a contactarlos nuevamente para que, bueno, para ver de qué forma se pueden sumar al equipo y pues, unir fuerzas para seguir llevándolo.
I got pushed out.
Yeah, we saw you frozen.
Sorry. Yeah, so
in a beautiful pose.
I was waving, like the waving would make it come back, right?
Yeah.
So your question, Pablo, come again.
Bueno, lo hago rapidito porque ya nos estamos pasando mucho de tiempo, pero mi pregunta es si hay dos I en inglés, fleece and kid, y hay una en español, ¿no? Y mi pregunta es, normalmente cuando yo quiero decir hi, por ejemplo, es I y debería ir hacia la I de kid, un poquito no tan I de fleece, ¿no? Y yo mi pregunta verdaderamente es si la I en español es como fleece, es como una de esas I, o es completamente distinta. Uno pone la lengua completamente distinta.
No, es la I, no es tanto la lengua, es que no existe. Tú estás hablando de la palabra sit, sentar, versus please, por favor.
Yes.
Estás hablando de eso, ok. So, lo que pasa es que en inglés, the I, que es la I latina, I, cuando nosotros pronunciamos el nombre de esa vocal, para nosotros es un diptongo. O sea, el nombre de la vocal es un diptongo para nosotros. I. A-I. I. Es el nombre de esa vocal. Pero la pronunciación de esa vocal dentro de ciertas palabras es E, que en español no es ni E ni I, es en el medio, E. Y eso es cuestión de colocación de la lengua y la posición de la boca. Es cuestión de apertura. O sea, es una cuestión de articulación. ¿Me explico? Entonces, ese E de sit, shit, sit, it, mit, the E sound, tiene que aprenderlo, buscar la colocación, aprenderlo y luego ahí practicarlo, pero no es I. Si te refieres a la pronunciación como tal, not the length of the vowel, porque en inglés también algo que muchos latinos, o sea, que no nos enseñan en ESL, is also the length of vowels. For example, palabras como lice, let's say. O sea, una palabra la afecta the length of the vowel and also the difference between S and Z. O sea, por ejemplo, en inglés, piojo es lice. Es pronunciación S, sonido de S. Pero mentiras en plural es lies. Entonces se afectó que alargamos el sonido de esa vocal, que es I, y el sonido de S y Z se intercambió. So you have lice and you have lies. Generalmente un latino, cuando quiere decir mentiras, termina diciendo la palabra piojos. You see? So it was the length of the vowel. So you have three things to worry about. You have one, learning that the I is a diphthong, I, and then in some words it's longer, and then we have to change the mira Maritza, muerta de la risa. See? Because when my client made that discovery, she was like, oh shit, what did I just say? And you made a wonderful discovery. She's like, oh my God, you're worth every penny. I just got my money's worth. Porque jamás se le ocurrió. Porque nadie le enseñó, le habló de cómo estiramos la vocal y cómo en vez de una S debe ser una Z. No te lo explican porque ni ESL no lo explican. Y nosotros no en castellano no existe como tal una regla de pronunciaciones donde alargamos las vocales. Realmente no se alarga. Cervantes, Saavedra, ahí, pues, ¿entiendes? O sea, vemos, a veces coinciden dos vocales. Leer tiene las dos E. Saavedra, qué sé yo, se me escapan algunas, pero nosotros no, en castellano no hablamos de esas cosas en lo cotidiano, ¿no? So I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah.
Well, guys, we could stay here until midnight,
Yeah.
getting so much information.
You want to go the half hour? You want to take 9 minutes?
Yeah, of course.
So let's say, okay. Of course. So I'll show you. So let me show you one rule that's specific for this group. And I know that this is a fun group and it's a perfect, clear example. So tell me, Samuel, I have the image. ¿Dónde lo pongo para que lo vean?
Okay, in the middle of your screen, down, there's a plenty of options. There is one called green. It says share screen.
Okay. Entonces le doy ahí.
If you press it, everybody's able to see what you're watching.
You can go. You can.
So if I click on it.
Yeah. If you click on it.
Desktop.
Okay. I'll click on the image right here.
No. In Zoom. In Zoom, right in the bottom, there are plenty of options. Just one is color green. It says share screen.
Share screen, okay. Entonces me salió un cuadrito que dice host disabled attendee screen sharing. You have to enable me.
Tú tienes razón. ¿Puedes colocarla ya como co-host, Pablo, por favor? Sí, danos un segundo porque tenemos que... Ahora sí, Rosie. Inténtalo ahora, a ver.
No, okay. Entonces, so I'm going to share screen, right? Entonces, okay.
You select which one do you want to share.
Me dice, well, you might see the whole, so it says desktop 1. Will you see the whole desktop? Let's see.
Okay. Then you can.
Can you see that?
Yes, we all can see it.
You see that? So
yes.
So míralo ahí. Rosie's rules. So the rule is, because I love the wordplay and love to play with words, I make rules, funny and fun. So I'll share two, especially for diction. So this one is for diction, and then the other one is for diction, but also for actors. So this one is called relax and undo your do. Don't be afraid to undo patterns of tongue placement. If you have a Spanish tongue, pull it up and back for a standard American T. In other words, la T en español, ¿dónde está la boca cuando dices una palabra que empieza con T? Tony, tomate.
Tony, detrás de los dientes.
Tantísimo. See how the tongue peeks through the teeth? Right? But if I say words that begin with T in English, my tongue doesn't peek out. My tongue hits the gum ridge up top. Tony, tomato, too much, tomorrow, ta-ta-ta. If I do ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta, la lengua no está ta-ta-ta. Si la saco, ya le di acento. So in other words, si tú hablas castellano, tú no puedes decir Tony. Si quieres decir la palabra Tony en inglés, no puedes poner la lengua donde la pones para decir Tony en español. Porque si la sacas, dices Tony, Tony, Tony. No, the Tony, for the Tony, you have to curl your tongue, pull it back and up. It goes Tony, pero en español la lengua hace Tony y sale. So you can see clearly if I say Tony, Tony. Los dientes, la lengua toca los dientes. Pero si digo Tony en inglés o tomato, la lengua está arriba tocando el gum ridge. You see? So the T, so to change from a Spanish T to an English T, if you have a Spanish tongue or American T, pull it back and up. And so for an actor, let's say, there's another rule. If I do, where's my conversation? Here's my conversation. And then I share screen again. let's try then the ta-ta-ta, right? I share you, let's share here. For example, esta. O sea, la excusa, o sea, exhortando al actor a que arregle su dicción, pero recordándole que es menos importante la imagen de una persona. So the rule is, use makeup wisely. Realize that a healthy image is not just about how you look. Sounds are sexy too. Enhance your ta-ta-tas, not your ta-tas, right?
Okay.
So it reminds the actor that we must have proper speech, and also that, you know, big tits are not that important, right? Entonces, ¿cómo yo regreso aquí? Ah, aquí está, ok. Y bueno, ahí hay un ejemplo de cómo, oh, stop share, there we go. So yeah, you have 3 more minutes, so maybe you want to ask a question or see another rule, perhaps? Maybe someone has a question of something specific. So vamos a hacer un recuento, lo que yo hago en mis clases. Hacemos un pequeño recuento de qué aprendimos. So the gold standard for coming from Spanish to English is to guard the consonants carefully, to not neglect the toned endings, to understand the difference between, the main difference between English and Spanish, right? The consonants versus the vowels. Mm-hmm. And so de español, que no, somos la mayoría aquí latinos, que queremos pues neutralizar, estandarizar un poco el inglés, reduciendo el acento. Lo primero que vamos a hacer eso es aprender a cuidar más las consonantes, a no dejar caer los finales y ver diferencias entre TH y generalmente las palabras pluralizadas todas terminan en sonido Z, no S, right? We already learned how to E, the E, if everyone learns that, E says E. It's the letter E, pero es el sonido fonética I, nuestra I latina, right? Another big one for Latinos is the difference between Y and Joe. We tend to, when we say you, cuando vemos una Y, que es una Y, tendemos a decir you, cogerla como que es una Y. Y lo importante es esa Y convertirla en un diptongo. La Y is a U. It's called a Y, but the sound is the letter, for example, if you're saying the word you, or, you know, young, eso es un diptongo. Entonces ahí es donde es muy común para el latino, esas palabras. También, ¿cuál es otra que es bastante común para los latinos? Es TH, the S, the Z, the E, the...
Es casi que la misma regla de la T con la D, nuestra D en español.
Exactamente, dado. Claro. Si yo estoy hablando como el gringo, ¿verdad? La O es un diptongo. Ah, saber, esa es muy buena. Mira, ahí me llevaste a una perfecta, que es la O. Nuestra O latina, nuestra vocal O es una O, pero en inglés es O. Es O-U. So if we're going from Spanish to English, we turn it into a diphthong. If I do my work like I do with Sophie, that we go from English to Spanish, I'm taking half of her diphthong away. So whenever she says the word no, ya yo no quiero oír una U, yo quiero solamente escuchar no. So we go the other way around. So the first thing, so it's very important to learn the vowels.
Beautiful.
That's something important. Yeah, so, you know, we attempted the impossible, which is sort of to do a little introduction, which is usually done in 3 hours, but we did a little bit in an hour and a half. So if you have another question, maybe one more question for the evening, or...
Yo creo que, ¿cómo te pueden, obviamente, creo que es una pregunta que en general las personas que no te conocen las quieren tener, es cómo ellos pueden contactarte, o cómo pueden quizás pues ponerse en contacto, sí, ponerse en contacto contigo para futuras lecciones.
Sí, en website, si le haces un googlea, si googlea mi nombre, Rosie Berrido, inmediatamente, the first hit is Rosie's Rules. Entonces ahí inmediatamente a través del website, que no les atrapará su nombre ni dirección ni nada de eso, por ahí me pueden escribir, mi teléfono está también ahí, o a través de HOLA. Yeah, because the website, so it's www.rosiesrules.com. It's the possessive Rosie's Rules, not Rosie Rules. I mean, Rosie Rules, but
Le estoy escribiendo acá en el chat, Rosie's
yeah,
Berrido.
Rosie's Rules. And what else? Let me see. What's a fun? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a fun rule in general for actors, maybe, because we have a lot of actors there. Here's something that's really hard for people. ¿Aló?
Sí, estamos acá.
Sí, estás ahí. Ok. Ya, aquí hay si le doy al share screen, para los actores, porque hay muchos aquí y esto es algo muy común y de lo que adolecen muchos actores, y me gusta siempre compartirlo cuando hago el taller o doy las charlas a los actores. Aquí, share screen, and here's one. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, this rule I love. It's called respect silence. Remember that it's never about the words. Learn to pause effectively without apology. Be the life between the lines. Con frecuencia los actores, sobre todo en el sistema americano, yo cuando hacía mucho teatro en inglés, siempre me decían, no pauses tanto, ¿qué pasa con esas pausas? And I have a little video on Instagram about it. It's okay to pause. If we have a rich internal life, as long as we have something going on, it's okay to pause. There's even something called the pincher pauses in American theater, porque generalmente, y no es un put down ni judgment, pero generalmente, o sea, no para y quiere mantener la cadencia y el fluir y esto y lo otro, y no es muy dado a las pausas. Entonces les llaman pincher pauses, porque pincher las marcaba en el libreto y decían, aquí hay que hacer una pausa y aquí hay una pausa larga. In theater, I learned that in acting school. There's actually something called the pincher pauses. But this is important for actors to know. I had this gorgeous Argentinian actor that came to me. He's a friend and an actor. And he said to me, you were the first person who reminded me to breathe and said, it's okay.
Sí está. Se lo congelar ahí.
Nos quedamos viendo su
pantalla.
Déjame ver si le puedo.
Sí.
A ver. More. Stop video. No. Cancel spotlight. Ok.
Sí, bueno, vamos a esperarla para que entre y...
Bueno, ¿será que a lo mejor lo podemos esperar un momentito para despedirnos?
Sí, claro, vamos a esperar que regrese para cerrar la clase.
Sí. Todos que tengan que irse, pues están, por supuesto, excusados. Si no, vamos a esperar un ratito a ver si regresa y la despedimos.
Sí. Estén pendientes porque mañana es jueves. Mañana vamos a colocar ya lo que viene para la semana que viene. Vamos a tener el lunes a un abogado que habla sobre la visa O1. Visa O1. Y obviamente pues traer algunas cosas interesantes sobre también lo que está pasando ahora y cómo está afectando esto a los...
Y perdona, Samuel, ¿todavía quedan cupos para este viernes?
Para este viernes ya no. Para este viernes era una clase cerrada para 15 personas y ya está cubierto la clase. Pero gracias a los que están acá...
¿Habrá una lista de espera o algo así?
pueden seguirse inscribiendo y pues nosotros igual le estamos notificando, confirmando lo que están en la clase. El abogado conoce representaciones, guiones, es decir, escritores. El abogado conoce de representar guiones. Él es un abogado especialista en artistas. Así que es una buena oportunidad para hablar con él. Ahí está Rosie otra vez.
Here. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
No problem.
Oh, yeah, so good talk.
Yeah. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias por todo.
De nada, ustedes, así que nada, Rosie.
Rosie, aquí la gente está pues pidiendo otra vez más. Vamos a tener que, después con Hola nos comunicamos otra vez para ver cuándo quizás hacemos otro ratito más de...
Y así lo que puedes hacer es hacerlo específico, que sean actores o dicción o actuación, y así podemos dedicarle más tiempo, aunque las reglas siempre, tú sabes, cuestiones de ética y comunicación, y hay muchos trucos de improv que también sirven a los ingenieros, a personas en cualquier carrera, en las traducciones y eso, pero podemos hacerlas individuales.
Perfecto, seguro que sí. Entonces nos pondremos de acuerdo nosotros para coordinar eso, y entonces ya se lo haremos saber a todos a través de las redes sociales y grupo de Facebook y nuestra página web.
Good, y si aprendieron algo, practíquenlo.
Por favor, eso es.
Gracias.
Chicos.
Good, great job with Hola. Espero ver cosas grandes de Hola. Seguimos.
Amén.
Gracias.
Así es.
Be safe, everyone. Bye.
Gracias. Chao, chicos.
My pleasure. Bye.
Gracias,
Bye-bye.
Rosie. Nos vemos. Muchas gracias.
Bye. Chao a todos. Bye bye.
Chao,
Thank
chicos.
you. Good night. Qué bello. Good.